Traders War Room proudly presents the daily video with the best trading and investing alerts anywhere on any platform. With up-to-date stock, chart, and market news, TWR is simply your one-stop shop. Wednesday, Sitrep. Real quick before we get started, I want to highlight the TWR's Levels Lady $5,000 challenge. Already this week, we have had 2 people hit $5,000 and multiple people hit over $1,000. We are for real about this, okay? If you're serious about your money and you truly want to make some money and learn how to trade like a professional, invest in yourself, join the team, and come trade with the bulls. The link's in the description. It's not too late. We got 2 fantastic trading days with huge catalysts. I got more information at the end of the video. I'll see you there. Stay tuned at the end for TWR Hot Products and Services. Alert update. It's not always rainbows and sunshines in the trading game. Sometimes you're going to take losses if you're in this game long enough. Today was one of those days for me. I went long Tesla on a swing trade. It did not go my way. Entered at 60, went ahead and cut the trail at 30. That was my stop loss level. Ate the loss and moved on to another trade. But you keep those losses minimal so that you protect that capital, so that you have the capital to reinvest in something else that's going to make some money. Another swing trade that did not go my way, Netflix. I thought we were going to get the bounce play. 105 was my entry. I ended up taking out at 60. That was definitely a hit as well. But again, we cut our losses quick, especially if we notice we're not getting the direction move. Instead of dumping more money in and averaging in a losing trade, we go ahead and cut the losses and protect that capital. 2 losing trades today definitely did not make me feel well, but we made up with it with some fantastic trades later on. This was one of those trades that we went ahead and got in, and this was a fantastic trade. We went ahead and got SPY 445 put. We went in pretty deep. We went with 10. You got in at 74, and this thing absolutely just took off. As you can see from the high, this thing absolutely did well more than 2x on our trade. We almost went 3x in this one. And it closed way up above. Of course, you leave a couple runners just in case, but we definitely made back those losses. We weren't even concerned with the losses because this was flipped to making us net positive. Took a lotto trade in Disney, went ahead and trimmed out because it's a lotto trade and we didn't know how it was going. Entered in at 162, went ahead and took out half position at 178, left half for the earnings playover. Still got some time. Looking at the chart in after hours, looks as though we probably will be pretty good as it was up pretty decent. As long as we don't get trashed in pre-market tomorrow, we should be up very nicely and potentially get a nice little push into the opening bell so we can secure for even more. Took a little trade on Q, went short. Of course, we ended up taking a little bit off the top because Q was kind of being a little suspect. I mean, we rode Q down hard earlier and then it just reversed and we started getting back into it towards the close. So definitely, we left some runners because we're hoping for a little bit of a decline tomorrow in the tech sector, a more continuation. But you got to take some bread off the table, especially when you're up. So we went ahead and scaled out $5 per contract, scale out 50%, leave some for the next runner, and hopefully we can get a nice little catapult at the bell of some downward pressure before we get a boost, if we get the boost, and we can come out with a nice 2x, hopefully 3x with some green tomorrow. But remember, these are just me. I have multiple analysts and multiple algo bots that push signals like these every day. Shiner showing you how to scalp the market. Now, guys, he does these live in our bell-to-bell live trading room. Yes, we have open trading every day the market's open, bell to bell, pretty much. We have a pre-market show. We have another analyst that comes in at certain times throughout the day, and Shiner is our main live trading analyst who goes pretty much bell to bell anytime during the market day. If you want to hop in there, he's usually in there live trading, and answering questions. That's one of the perks of being a TWR premium member. Scalpy. Now listen, it doesn't look like a lot, but when you're scalping the market consistently over and over and over again, $5, $10, $15, it ends up being quite a bit. You at least hit that $100 to $1,000 per day in little increments, especially in choppy days and with the 180 reversals when they're very sharp. TLM pulling a nice trade off of Q going long, taking this from 200 to 257. That's good all day for 50 plus per contract. What about that crazy NVO trade that we ended up closing? Man, we were eating off that, and we ended up closing out today at 225 all the way from 105. That thing was a rocket ship that just kept bumping and bumping and bumping, and we went ahead and got out on the grind. Now, Bishop, he usually doesn't come with the big, huge plays. He likes to do mini scalps, but man, when he comes swinging and he comes hard, he comes with the thunder. Look at this trade right here, SPX, 35 entry. Ran that all the way to $3 for good for 757% profit, man. And it even ran a little bit higher for even more percentage. But that is a fantastic trade, and I got to give props to the Bishop, man. Checkmate. And I wanted to highlight one of our challenge and growth things. Okay, so we have a $500 to $5,000 challenge that we do specifically just trading SPY and QQQ. But what I want to highlight is I want to highlight this 2023 stocks portfolio, penny stocks specifically right here. We have been absolutely killing it. Look at the date and time on these trades, right? We got into RAD at 160 times 100, right? We got into Duo at 90 cents times 1,000, okay? You can check the time and date stamp. Those were back in June at about 130. These were penny stocks that we saw some volume and decided to hop into based off of some lows. Look at that, RAD, 160 to 280. We go ahead and we take 25 off the table and leave 75 for a longer swing. Guys, this is what I'm talking about with these penny stocks, okay? It doesn't just have to be options, man. We can make money trading anything, okay? What about Duo, man? Look at this, 90 to 225. We went ahead and took 90% of this position out at 900 shares. We left 100 just to run, and that right there was a fantastic trade. All we're looking for in the penny stock challenge is 2X's. When we get runs like this is the home run that we're looking for, man. I got one more for you, okay? Tattoo, right? We ended up getting in this back in May. When you're TWR premium member, man, we don't just leave you hanging, okay? We walk the dog with you. If we're in the trade, if we're in the trenches, we're in it together, okay? We're going to war together. Tattoo, we went ahead and we trimmed out of the position at 16, right? Went 13 to 16, take 50% out at 500. We leave 500 for more. Boom, baby. Look where we're at today. 29. Now, we could have gone ahead and just took out full position because that's better than 2X. But why? Why not just go ahead? We already made back our entry money by going ahead and just taking it out, but we're going to go ahead and leave some. So we came 13 to 16. We took 500 out, right? We went ahead and took 400 out at 29. We leave 100 just in case we get like a little catalyst up to $1 or something. That's the home run we're talking about. These challenges and these portfolio growth things that we do, the 500 to 5K, right? The 2023 penny stock, the Christmas challenge, you're only going to find us as a TWR market premium warrior, okay? We don't do this for free on the social medias. This is specifically for the TWR market warriors. So if you want into these type of play-by-play things, you got to join the team. The link's in the description. Come get some with the TWR Bulls, and I'll see you on the platform. $100 to $1,000 per day is possible as a Trader's War Room market warrior. So quit wasting that money that's not making money and join TWR today. All links are in the description. Hot off the press. One of the top news is one of the main strategists who called the 2023 U.S. stock rally says the S&P will go nowhere for the rest of 2023 and likely into 2024. And basically they're saying this because corporate earnings are failing to grow. And what he's seeing is more sideways movement where we're probably going to see a slower rise and potentially even a decline from making lower highs into lower lows. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I tell people not to get too hung up on this because we're going to trade the trend, all right? If the trend is bullish, we're trading bullish. If it's bearish, we're trading bearish. If we're a long-term investor, we're trading bullish because in theory, the market always goes up. Even if there's a momentary pause and a lower part in the market, over time, if you look back in history, the market always goes up. So head on a swivel and just ready to rock and roll. Of course, Disney was in the news. Disney continues its ruin of streaming in pursuit of the almighty dollar. What's interesting here is that they're really cracking down on the user sharing, and it's big information on this ESPN, specifically with ESPN and sports betting. So it'll be interesting to see how Disney is able to really monetize that particular area, because it's kind of a wild, wild west over there with the sports gambling, and especially as it's becoming more and more, less taboo to gamble, especially with sports, and more of kind of okay as long as it's done in moderation and done responsibly and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see if Disney can flip the script and start really making some moves like the boss it is on the low. So I like Disney long term. I think this is a fantastic price, anywhere below 100 to start nibbling into shares long. This thing will make you a fortune if you got the long-term investment. You buy into shares, work your way up to 1,000 shares, hold this for life, and you'll be happy you did in the long term, especially if you're in your 20s or 30s right now. By the time you're 60, you'll thank Chuck Fu. And our president announced new restrictions on U.S. investments in China. Now, this was interesting news because they were expecting more kind of broad restrictions that weren't really going to be specific, but kind of, broad and wishy-washy, but it was more narrow than anticipated. So it actually was kind of, sounded like Wall Street actually liked what they were hearing a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see how they digest the information, because a lot of times when you're thinking broad and you get narrow, your initial reaction is like, oh, this is okay. But then when you start reading the fine print into the narrow, it's really specific on a few key things. And that's really the key ones that are most lucrative for those, big investment, those big institutional money makers. So it'll be interesting to see how Wall Street digests that and how we react tomorrow to the information. But definitely, the POTUS is making some news, and it's definitely probably going to get some waves tomorrow in the market. Hot trends. All right, so your market overall is bearish. Your leader index is DIA. Your hottest sector is energy. Worst sector is technology. Top stock is EQNR, and your worst stock was PLTR, which is not unusual because PLTR had ran so hard. So I'm not surprised that it took a tumble. But if you noticed, ARK was definitely buying a lot more PLTR and was selling out of Roku. So it'll be interesting to see how PLTR reacts here in the coming weeks. Here's the heat map of the S&P 500. And as you can see, you had some Christmas green and red sprinkled, but a lot of those big caps that hold the majority of the weight are the red ones, and big red too. So the little greens, they weren't able to overshadow the big red that was weighing down on the market. So we'll see how the market reacts tomorrow. If I have my idea, I think that we get a little bit of some wobbly knees and probably an initial reaction to the downside, and then we probably find some support, and we get a little bit of resilience, and we try to recover some of the loss that we've had the past couple of days. Here's your sector performance. As you can tell, energy way up, technology way down, consumer discretionary and communication services lagging as well, and we got real estate and utilities up as well. I want you guys to pay attention right there. Healthcare and industrials, that's kind of 50-50, all right? We could see healthcare and industrials kind of flip to the green side, a little rotation in the sectors. Okay, so just watch healthcare and industrials for a little rotation into them, popping into the green. Here's just top stock gainers, and as you can see, we got a lot of penny stocks that were moving and shaking. BNTC was popping. All right, we got some Bird out there that was popping. TDUP, SNMP. We hadn't seen that pop off for a while, but look at that right there, 100% change right there. TNGX, that was absolutely skyrocketing. Price was, $7.79 and it had a change of $3.96. That was huge right there. So the penny stock, you guys were loving that. Top losers bleeding right there. PALI absolutely getting demolished, 62% to the downside. BRSH 47%. The reason why I want you to pay attention, any of these that are higher than 30%, I want you guys to pay attention to those because there's a huge percentage for a bounce play, all right? Upstart is one of those, all right? I want you guys to pay attention to Upstart. UPST, okay? That was down 34%, all right? That is a huge potential. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not even next week, but going into maybe a couple weeks out for a nice push getting back into the 40s. Just a couple weeks ago, this was a $70 stock, and it's already back into the 30s, okay? It's definitely one of those that can bounce, and when it bounces, it'll bounce very quickly. And I'm not saying it will get back up to 70, but a lot of these that get dumped very hard, the 62%, the 47%, the 30%, they usually make back 5 to 10% of that initial knee-jerk reaction, and you can catch and ride the wave fairly quickly and make some decent money. Most active, your SQs, PLTR, Nikola was active, Tesla, of course, Rivian. Rivian was interesting, man, because they had fantastic earnings. They were just getting punished. SPY, of course, Apple, NVDA, Neo, Roblox. Roblox is one to watch as well, just like I was talking about with Upstart. Roblox got absolutely demolished too, and that's one of those potentials for a bounce play as well because the earnings were actually really good. They weren't bad, but it's getting some beat up, just based off of, some of the macros and stuff. But I could see another bounce play gaining back some of the knee-jerk reaction it got. So watch Roblox, watch Upstart, watch AMD. Those ones will be looking to get the bounce plays. Here's your most volatile, and the reason why we like volatility is because it makes us the money, all right? The volatility is what gives us the dramatic spikes to the upside and to the downside and what gives us that good money potential. AVGO, NVDA, Lilly was very volatile. LRCX, we got a lot of the semiconductors being volatile. Netflix is volatile, okay? A lot of these are moving and shaking, and even a small percentage of the possibilities can get you some decent money. Now, some of them are very expensive, right? Like Netflix. Not everyone can buy enough shares of Netflix to make an impact really trading, right? That's why you can trade Netflix options. You go out the money, find an option, $75, maybe $100, get a couple options of that, and if you can catch it on a good bounce or a good dump, you can make yourself a decent trade off of a quick play, off of some volatility, going a bull play or a bear play, okay? That's how we can flip these more expensive stocks like AVGO and like Netflix that not everyone can afford to buy 100 shares of these and start trading them for decent amount of profit. Unusual volume. Now, what I like to do with the unusual volume is unusual volume in the penny stocks. That's what I like to focus on, okay? So the KBNT, right? The SNCE, the ATNF, the AKAN, right? The unusual volume in these that are under $1. I like to focus in on those because sometimes you get continuation from volume spikes and you can make some decent runs, especially if you get the bull continuation. A lot of these will run, they'll run hard, they'll pull back hard, and they'll run again because people won't get in it the first time, they'll get it on the second time, and they'll run twice as hard. So watch these penny stocks for another push, specifically if we get a strong market. Unusual options. Now, why do we like unusual options? Well, we start to think, what is the big money thinking when they get these unusual options, okay? Normally, big money knows a little something that we think about that maybe that the little people like you and I don't know about, and we kind of make us wonder, like, well, I'm thinking, bull call on NVDA. Why are they getting a put? Makes me wonder, like COP, hey, gas is hot right now. Why are they going in at ConocoPhillips and getting a put on it? I'm wondering what's going on. CVX, why are they getting a put on CVX? Energy is hot. Like, what's going on? The Caribbean cruise lines, why are they getting a call in there? I thought the cruise lines were getting crushed and stuff. So we pay attention to the unusual options because we want to understand why the big money is putting the money into those options. What do they see coming ahead of it? So we do a little due diligence. We look at the chart. We look and we see if it makes sense. And we go ahead and make a trade, maybe mimic the trade and try to make a little bit of money off of the trade that they're making. All right, let's talk about some flow. Flow to the call side, heavier than to the bear side, but that can switch like a flat flip of a hat, okay? We got NVDA, Tesla, SPY, the QD, Apple, all the big ones, right? You're also starting to see some of the banking names coming there. Wall and Schwab are coming in there as well. Now on the bear side, you're seeing Tesla, Johnson & Johnson, Myrna, NVDA, Docu. So definitely we're paying attention to some of these. It's a little more mixed on the bear side rather than on the bull side. On the bull side, it's more techie, more banky. On the bear side, it's kind of mixed. So it'll be interesting to see how we play out. Dark pool, obviously, SPY, normally the big one. But I want you to look at this. Look at Johnson & Johnson. Look at that dark pool, man. We haven't seen Johnson & Johnson on this list for a minute. And then you see Johnson & Johnson just all of a sudden pop in there, and they're like the second leader on the dark pool. That should make you start thinking, man, we need to pay attention to Johnson & Johnson, tomorrow and into next week. Option, open interest. Now, we like open interest because open interest tells us that the idea for continuation on the trend that we think either bear or bull is still valid. When people start closing their interest on those, it means that usually the momentum is shifting and people are trying to get out of their trades. So open interest high is what we like with options. Once it starts closing and the open interest lowers, it's usually time to start looking for your exit. Highest IV on the options. I want you guys to pay attention to that tattoo, man. I was telling you about tattoo. I just showed you our penny stock portfolio with that thing, and it was absolutely fire, okay? Look at tattoo and maybe consider some leaps, okay? I haven't looked at them yet. I might look at them tomorrow, but definitely paying attention to that. Also, Yell's one I haven't paid attention to for a while, but it's on this list, and it has a lot of IV associated with it, so I'm liking what I'm seeing. Moulin, of course, that one's one of the popular ones. Another one I like, and I haven't seen this for a while, is IMPP, okay? That's a decent one. That one likes to fly. When it gets the volume and it gets a catalyst underneath it, that thing likes to soar. So watch those as we come into the market closing out this week. All right, here's your overbought, and this is based off your RSI 70. What we like about overbought is this tells us potentially stocks that we're looking for reversal to the downside. Now, here's the kicker with this, okay? If they're overbought, but they're fundamentally sound, there's a reason for it to be overbought, right? Like there's the sound catalyst. It's not just a catalyst and, a pullback or something. There's a catalyst plus the fundamentals are sound along with it. Then you could get the overbought plus continuation. So, but a lot of times if it's just moving on some volume or it's moving on some sort of catalyst, give it a little bit of time. Once it hits that overbought, it may consolidate a little bit, but it usually pulls back a little bit, giving some back. People start taking some bread off the table and give you an opportunity to make some money. Same concept with the RSI 30, right? If it's a worthless piece of crap type of stock, okay, there's a reason why it's losing money, probably headed towards bankruptcy, probably going to zero. But if it just got beat up, Upstart is one of those, right? If it just got beat up and it's still, a stock that is popular, a stock that has potential, a stock that is speculative, but still, got the, the interest and still got a lot of, institutional buy-in with it, then it could just be a knee-jerk reaction, looking for a bounce play going back in. So it could be an opportunity to start thinking long once you get signs of some bull trend back into it. But be careful with it, because a lot of these penny stocks that start to lose the money on the RSI, there are a lot of these cheap ones that are just headed to zero, okay? A lot of these will go below $1. They'll get the little, thing from the NASDAQ or from the NYSE, and it'll be like, hey, you got to get it up above $1. And they'll be like, no, we're going to bankrupt, or someone's going to buy us out or something. They're just junk, okay? But ones that are pretty sound, you can almost guarantee sooner than later they're going to get that bounce, and you can usually catch a few percentage points off of the bounce play. Stocks I like. Okay, so here's how the chart's going to go. Basically, you're going to see three colors: purple, blue, and red. The purple, that's our battle zone, all right? Triggers on the high and the low that give us the idea of continuation to either our high target, which is blue, or our low target, which is red. Definitely got to use these as trigger points and ideas, because the volatility of the market can change the landscape in an instant, okay? So very cautious, head on a swivel, and be ready to attack. All right, so let's get into it. SPY, all right, battle zone right there, 446.75, somewhere around there, okay? We're looking for the breaks to the upside, going and attacking at 450, okay? We start to get the bull trend. We're looking at 450 for it to attack, okay? However, if you notice, we're starting to kind of broaden out. We're making lower highs and lower lows, all right? Now, that could be that we're kind of getting a descending wedge type pattern, right? Or, a bear flag or whatever. We're looking for a spike back up to the upside, kind of, we got this hockey, stick pattern, which is cool because we could get a bump to the upside. But sometimes what happens is we get another leg to the downside, all right? And if that happens, we're looking for the follow through to the 443 area before we find some support, all right? So battle zone, we're looking for the push above or below, and then we're looking for follow through to the blue or to the red line. Same idea with the Q. The Q, tech's been getting beat up. I wouldn't be surprised if Q gets a little push, because tech's been getting hit hard. However, if we continue to get beat up, and this week could just be one of those wash weeks, we could be looking at a 10% correction week, right? No issues, right? We could always reset and go back to business as usual next week. But CPI will come out tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see how that plays into the market. But again, battle zone, we're looking for hops above the battle zone for pushes to the blue, and hops below for pushes to the red. Disney, we got a huge outside bar. So you got a huge range of the blue to red. So what I had to do is I had to go in and do some intra levels with my orange, right? So we got the battle zone, and basically what I did is I just took the difference basically off of a normal level that I thought was okay for a push to the upside or a push to the downside. So that's really what we're looking for. If we get the push to the upside to the top orange, then we can look for the follow through to the blue on the upside. If we get the push to the downside to the bottom orange, we can look for the push to the bottom of the red line. So it'll be interesting to see. But when you get a huge outside bar like that, I mean, that's a huge spike. You got 84 to 92, and for Disney, that's a huge range, okay? You never know what's going to happen. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I got a feeling we'll probably push a little bit higher and then probably go lower, because Disney is just one of those that, got a lot of, weird sentiment associated with it right now. All right, Baba's an interesting play. Right now, we're looking like we want to push to the upside. So I like this one for a potential bull play for a push up towards 100. I think that if we get a decent little volume push, we can get it. However, if we can't close above the battle zone, then we're looking for that push to the downside to go retest those lower levels. Plug. I'm not a fan of Plug, okay? I think it's one of those worthless companies, but a lot of people like it. It's very popular, so I went ahead and put it on here because I know a lot of people are thinking it. Battle zone for Plug, looking for the top to bottom. really, I wouldn't play options on Plug. I'd just be looking to grab shares. If you want to go long on Plug, I'd go ahead and grab some shares in any dip underneath $10. Go ahead and feel free to average in. Maybe if you hold this, 5 to 10 years from now, you might make your money back. But Plug to me kind of sounds like one of those that might be ones that could push up to $15, but I got a feeling Plug will end up being one of those companies that a bigger company buys out and utilizes them for, some sort of a charging type thing like that. That's just my opinion. I don't really know much about Plug, but I know that Plug is very popular. However, they continue to disappoint and underwhelm. Roblox. This is one of those that I want you to pay attention to because this is a prime candidate for the bounce play. Now, we want to be careful here because we could bounce and dump, all right? We could be catching a falling knife. But if we bounce and we start to go attack that $32 range, I want you guys to think long, okay? Because we could easily go hit that 32 to 34 and reclaim some of the loss that we got, okay? So I do like this one for a bounce play. I'm long on this one. I have a long contract. I think I pushed it out into September. I think it's a $33 call out into September 1. I think it'll be a pretty decent, probability of success. It's fairly cheap right now, specifically since we had a huge dump. So calls are cheap on the premium. So, it might be worth your time to go ahead and get something, a little close to at the money for a decent price. XOM, and man, I keep kicking myself in the butt for this one because I missed this one. I saw this one when it was 106 and I was thinking about getting into it. Then I forgot about it because I was focusing on some other trades, and then this thing just took off and I didn't want to hop into it because I felt like I was chasing it, and I should have, because I was looking at it when it was 107 and it hit 108 and I figured out it'll probably pull back, and then it goes 109 and 110 and just kept going. So I'm a fan of XOM. I love XOM. I could see XOM pulling back a little bit, but energy is hot right now. So I'm a bull on XOM until further notice. And, if the battle zone, if we can close above this area, 110, 111, even a 115, we can reclaim. And Yeti, I don't know about this one. I got burned on the Yeti the last time I traded this one. This one surprised me, but we got a little outside bar going on. I got some levels there. This one would be one of those that'll be interesting to see how they do on earnings. So play this one, very cautiously. It can get very popular, and when they do really well, there can be a lot of steam. It can move very quickly, but it does have a lot of room that it can go down to the downside. I mean, look at that. It hit 34 not too long ago, okay, and it's over here in the 40s, so it has some room. It could drop very easily 37, 36 and not even blink an eye. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at it. So, Yeti, I can't see people, spending a lot of money on that type of items right now, especially when they're penny pinching. That's just me personally. I think they would rather trade down because they already got their Yeti stuff already. They're probably not looking for new Yeti stuff. They're probably trading down for, Walmart brand or whatever, and they're reusing their Yeti stuff that they have. It's not quite Christmas time, so they're not trying to buy that name brand stuff yet. So I don't think that they'll be doing so well on their earnings this quarter as much as they do going into the holiday season. Upcoming events. And like I told you, I'd give you more information about this as we came to the end of the video. So basically, listen, TWR Levels Lady, she's fantastic at what she does, okay? It's not just the training that you get. It's the week-long mentorship and private group, okay? So you pay the $50, you get the training video, it gives you all the information for the week, and then it opens up the private group. And inside of the group is where the magic happens, okay? You get the mentorship, you get the guidance, and you get all the information and the guidance towards $5,000 for that particular week. And it's happening. People are making the money, okay? Now, it's a little different, especially if you trade a different way. Some people are having, a little trouble switching to a different style because it's based off of levels in the marketplace. Some people trade off of, a certain way, and they have to learn this, but that's why it's in there, and she's there to coach and guide you, okay? She's good at what she does. That's why TWR hired her. We have her in there. She's making people a lot of money. She's teaching people, and people that are paying the $50. Listen, if I told you if you paid $50 and you had a high probability of at least making $1,000 off of that $50, would you take that opportunity? If you didn't, I would say you were crazy, okay? So invest in yourself. The link's in the description. Try it out, and I guarantee you the knowledge you get just alone is worth the price of admission. The link is in the description. Activate your 2-day trial of TWR All Access on the Discord platform. We cover it all at Traders War Room, whether you're looking for stocks, options, futures, Forex, crypto, or even sports betting, or you want real-time alerts, live trading, algo signals, or even if you just want to be part of a community of like-minded investors to grow, learn, and share together as a team. Something for everyone, every budget, and every style. Join TWR today and trade with the bulls. Traders War Room is your one-stop shop. Try our TWR one-to-one mentoring. Does the market have you feeling like this, or wanting to rip your hair out while you watch your account dwindle? If that's you, then Traders War Room has you covered. Our one-to-ones focus on you as a trader or investor. The Zoom session connects you with a TWR professional. Whether we're covering charts, developing a plan of attack, or being strategic and deep diving on the how, why, and execution of trade plans. TWR one-to-ones will give you the confidence to attack, conquer, destroy, and make the market bend the knee in 2023. Join TWR and bow to no one. Book your session today. The link is in the description or on the website at traderswarroom.com. Let's go to war. I wanted to show you real quick what TWR website has to offer, specifically the Trading University. Either one of the links work. When you get to the website, we have a true one-stop shop that has everything you could ask for. When you get to the website, you'll notice that we have an intuitive website that has some light boxes that pop up giving you next class information you can click on. And then all you got to do is scroll down and you got different things, Discord, classes, and I want to go into our online university. So when you get to the university page, you'll notice that we have an intuitive university page where it gives you the diagram of what the university page is about. It goes into our course structure of what our courses are all about, and all of our courses basically go on various topics, but they all have the same type of understanding. They're all digital online. They all have curriculum, videos, intuitive virtual classrooms, everything you could think of. And then this course I want to highlight is the Options Trading 101. Specifically, this course is a fundamentals course that's a cradle to the grave approach to trading options. It's a 5-week course. It's everything you could ask for from beginner to intermediate and advanced skills into trading options. Now, when you click on the course, it's going to take you to the launch page, and this is where you can look at the packages. Our base package $450 for the course, but you can also get a mentor session available where you can get 4 mentor sessions, 1 hour apiece for $650. Now, if you add this to your cart, it'll take you to the purchase page where you can have purchase options. And the great thing about this is we also have a buy now, pay later option because we know it's kind of pricey, but it's well worth the price. And as a TWR alumni, your purchase is good for life. You get updates for the life of your purchase. So if we update the curriculum and you're a member of TWR, you get the updated information. Now, you can see that we have members already in previous courses and current courses already. So we are not just a one-trick pony. We've been doing this for a while, but this new TWR Options Fundamental course is our one that we're really highlighting. This is our course that we really took 3 years to get right. and we're really pushing out because this is our bread and butter at Traders War Room right now. And currently we have 3 members that are on the program right now, and we have them in there. Liam is our website developer, and we have the homework page right here, the discussion page where you can leave comments. Like I said, it's a virtual classroom with everything you could ask for. Your curriculum right there, your videos, you can talk to other course members. It has your outlines, your videos, intuitive homework, everything you could ask for on a platform. We put a lot of time and effort into this course, and I hope that after you kind of see the course and you can actually see that there's members in the course and they're actually learning right now as well, that you might feel, a little more like, hey, you know what, maybe I'll try it. And that we have the buy now, pay later type of ideas as well. And we take credit cards. Listen, we're trying to put the information and the tools in your guys' hands and give you options so that you can go out there and truly learn to make money and learn to use the market as a vehicle for your financial freedom. So I hope to see you guys in class. I hope to see a lot of you take this course and get completed and then become TWR graduates and alumni, and then help inspire the next generation of TWR market warriors via the online education platform. These are our most popular links, and of course you can find everything we offer on traderswarroom.com, and all of these links are in the description as well. So if you ever want to find a link or just check something out, go to any YouTube we have, go to the description, and I always put all of our popular links and social medias there so you can click and come check us out. The market is our war zone and stocks are the battle. Join TWR and let's go to war.